The rain is pounding the cracked sidewalk of a rundown Chicago diner at 2:17. And when a little girl in a too big hoodie slides her very last chicken nugget across the table to a homeless man who hasn't eaten in 3 days, he stares at the nugget like it's gold. She stares at him like he's family. Her father, unshaven and hollow-eyed, watches in silent horror because that single nugget was supposed to be their dinner, and tomorrow there might not be anything left at all. What would you do if your hungry 8-year-old just gave away the only food you had to a complete stranger? Could you stop her? Or would you let her break your heart in half? In one freezing night, a broke single dad, a starving veteran, and one tiny act of kindness will remind us what being human actually costs. Mike Reynolds, 34, former warehouse foreman, now sleeps in a 2003 Civic with his daughter, Lily, because the eviction notice came faster than the next paycheck. Every night after Lily falls asleep in the back seat, Mike counts the $9.47 left in his wallet and prays, tomorrow brings something better. Tonight the something better is Rosie's all night. Diner on the south side, warm lights, $4.99 kids' meals on Tuesdays, and a waitress who sometimes looks as charge them for refills. Inside, the place smells like burnt coffee and hope. Lily sits on the same cracked red booth she's claimed for 3 weeks, coloring a placemat with crayons the waitress saved for her. Mike forces a smile while calculating if he can stretch $9 into 2 meals and gas to get to a job interview 40 miles away tomorrow. Across the diner sits Daniel, 50s, army jacket patched with duct tape, beard down to his chest. He hasn't spoken to anyone in days. He just stares at the menu he can't afford, hands shaking from cold and withdrawal from whatever war still lives inside him. The waitress Carla knows the look. She's seen it too many times. She quietly fills Daniel's water glass again, even though he didn't ask. Lily notices everything. She always does. "Daddy," she whispers, nudging Mike. "That man's hands are shaking worse than yours when you think I'm sleeping." Mike meets Daniel's eyes for a second, two broken men recognizing each other, across a greasy diner, and quickly looks away. Carla drops off. Lily's kids' meal, 6 chicken nuggets, tiny fries, and a chocolate chip cookie for dessert. Mike's plate is just coffee, black. He gave Lily the last of the cash. Lily eats 3 nuggets, then stops. She looks at Daniel again. His head is down, forehead pressed to the table like he's praying or giving up. Maybe both. Lily slides out of the booth before Mike can grab her. "Lily, no." She walks straight to Daniel, stands on tiptoes, and places 1 warm nugget on his napkin. "My daddy says when you're really hungry, food tastes better when you share it." Daniel lifts his head. His eyes are wet. Mike is frozen, shame burning his throat. Daniel tries to push the nugget back. "Sweetheart, you eat that." Lily shakes her head, stubborn. "I already had 3. You look like you need 4. Mike finally reaches them, voice cracking. "I'm sorry, man." She doesn't understand, but Daniel is staring at the tiny nugget like it's the first kindness he's been offered in years. He picks it up with trembling fingers, eats it in 1 bite, and a tear rolls into his beard. Mike's heart shatters. That was their last meal until Friday, 3 days away. Mike pulls Lily back to the booth, whispering, fierce and desperate, "Baby, we can't feed everyone.
We barely have enough for us."
Lily's eyes fill. "But Daddy," his tummy was crying louder than mine. Carla watches the whole thing, chewing her lip. She disappears into the kitchen. Minutes later, she brings Daniel a full-plate meatloaf special on the house. Daniel tries to refuse, but Carla insists. House rules. You don't say no to food when it's given with love. Mike stares at his cold coffee, pride and hunger fighting inside him. Lily keeps sneaking glances at Daniel. When he finishes, she rips her placemat coloring in half, gives him the side with the rainbow she drew. "For your new house," she says, "whenever you get one." Daniel's voice is gravel. "Thank you, little soldier." Then the twist. Daniel reaches into his ragged backpack, pulls out something wrapped in an old bandana, and walks slowly to their booth. Mike tenses, ready to protect Lily, but Daniel just places the bundle gently on the table. "I want you to have this," he says. Mike unwraps it. A Silver Star medal, faded ribbon, and a folded photograph of a younger Daniel in uniform holding a baby girl who looks just like Lily. Daniel's voice breaks. "My daughter would have been about your age. Lost her mom, then lost me to the streets when the nightmares got too loud. I failed her every day since." He looks at Lily, then at Mike. "You're fighting for yours. Don't ever stop." Mike can't speak. The metal is heavy in his palm, heavy, with sacrifice, regret, and something like forgiveness. Daniel reaches into his coat again and pulls out a crumpled envelope. Was saving this for a shelter bed that never came. He slides it across the table. Inside, $340 in crumpled bills. Everything he's panhandled in months. Mike tries to push it back. We can't. Mike tries to push it back. We can't. You already gave me something worth more than money tonight, Daniel says, nodding at Lily. Let me give it back. Lily hugs Daniel's leg without hesitation. He freezes, then rests a careful hand on her head like he's afraid she'll break or he will. Carla is crying behind the counter. The cook peeks out, eyes red. Mike finally whispers, "Thank you," and it sounds like surrender and gratitude all at once. 3 weeks later, Mike, clean-shaven, wearing a new work uniform, guides Lily into the same diner. She's carrying a wrapped gift. Daniel sits at the counter, no longer in rags. He's gained weight, hair trimmed, wearing a Rosie's Diner t-shirt. Carla hired him as night cook the day after. Mike used that $340 as first month's rent on a tiny apartment. Lily runs to him, arms out. "Uncle Danny!" He lifts her high, laughing through tears. Mike shakes Daniel's hand, firm, equal. "Job interview went well because of you. Start Monday." Daniel looks at the silver star now pinned proudly above the grill. Some things are meant to be passed on. They sit together. 3 plates of pancakes, extra bacon, chocolate milk for Lily. Outside, snow falls soft and clean over Chicago, like the city itself decided to start over. One act of kindness, one final meal shared. Everything given back, multiplied. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more emotional short films that remind us humanity is still alive. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a story, and tell us below. What would you have done that night in the diner? Would you have let your child give away your last bite of food? Your comments inspire our next stories. Thank you for watching. One act of kindness can change everything. See you in the next one.